44 past 9. Last night I was out here digging through my old folders, going through my school reports and having a bit of a giggle, and I was looking for the old skate mags that I used to make in high school, and I have pulled them up here. Whoops, got them out here. Before we get to that though, I also found in here both of my work experience certificates. So work experience is when you're in high school and you do like a week's work in a business. Now I chose to work in a record store, and while other students were fulfilling lifelong ambitions to be basketball coaches and scientists, I was selling vinyl in a record store. And the second one I did was at a newspaper, which is kind of a little bit more up my alley, graphic design style. They were cool, that was good fun. So the skate mags started their life here. This was Happenin Style. Now this was my cousin and Paul Walsh. So Gav and Walshy they come up with this idea, Happenin Style. They did basically 3 issues, kind of pretty limited really, just text and stories. And what would happen is they would get sent out to, basically our skate crew would get these. So 6 or 7 of us in our crew of skaters, who we then dubbed the Happenin Style team, they would get them. But then after 3 issues, Gav and Paul grew tired of it and handed it over to me to create. And so I was stoked because I could now have free reign on this magazine as the editor. And after a couple of issues, this one here, when I was working at the newspaper at Work Experience, I got access to an Apple Macintosh for the first time. So I actually did cut and paste and layout for the very first time in my life. But after that issue, I very, very quickly realized you need to have branding, you need to have a logo. So I come up with this logo, Happenin Style, just that format, and then I ran with that across each issue. Whoops, I'm about to drop the camera. I ran with that across each issue, and I think I did 10 issues in total. Stories in here were pretty much the same as the first set of stories, because it was just going out to our crew. So we already knew the stories before we got the issue, but it was really rad to get in your mail. In your mailbox, you'd get an envelope with Happenin Style in it. July 1992. Every 2 months, we tried to follow the same format as like the major skate mags, and we just bring it out 1 issue every 2 months. I'll just show you some content here. Oh, the review. Here's a review of the very first big day out. Ha! That would be the one Nirvana. Didn't headline, but ruled. Some street skating. Chili Peppers were huge. We pretty much donned our Chili Pepper attire in every photo. There's probably one of us wearing a Chili Pepper shirt. There's an article on Bondi Street scene, Oyster Bay scene, Osty doing a big frontside air at Waterloo. So yeah, we had a pretty cool thing going there for a number of years, and I didn't even realize it at the time, but that probably was my calling to be a graphic designer. But it was many, many, many years later that I actually went ahead and studied it and became a designer. There were other mags too. Mob came up with his own one called No Name because he couldn't come up with a name. That's the only issue of it. That's the original of No Name. And then Gav came out with later on with his own version of 540 called 720. So he did about 6